This is a fourth stimulus check and stimulus program update. U.S. senators wrote a letter to President Biden asking for the expansion of Medicare to be included in the American Families Plan. I'll share with you the official letter and how they want to lower the age down to 50. I'll give you the latest details regarding the fourth stimulus check, and I'll show you the official bill of the $2,000 per month stimulus check plan. We'll talk about the increase in monthly pay for Social Security recipients. I'll let you know the latest on what's happening with the $15 minimum wage. Then I'll answer the questions you leave for me in the comments. I hope you're having a great day. If you appreciate these straight to the point updates, then hit the like button down below. So I want to get your opinion on this. President Biden has received positive marks at his first 100 days, according to some polls, and I want to get your opinion. What do you think about President Biden so far in his first 100 days? Good president, bad president? Why do you think that? Let me know down in the comments below. So according to the CBS poll, 58% approve, 42% disapprove, and the Republicans are saying that President Biden did a bait and switch. So I'm going to play for you two clips from Democrats, two clips from Republicans really quick, share their perspectives, because on this channel I'm an independent, so I like to see multiple perspectives, get different points of views, and then I'm going to show you exactly what President Biden promised and if he completed those promises yet. First up is Kevin McCarthy talking about President Biden's first 100 days.
How do you rate President Biden's first 100 days in office, and will you, or do you think will any Republicans support his plan for trillions of dollars in new spending and new taxes for infrastructure and social programs?
Well, first, if I look at the 100 days, it's more like a bait and switch. The bait was he was going to govern as bipartisan, but the switch is he's governed as a socialist. If you're looking at infrastructure, it's the same as the coronavirus. Less than 9% went to the virus. Less than 6% in the infrastructure goes to infrastructure. Republicans would be the first one that would work with them. But I think the very first thing we would need to do, define what infrastructure is. Roads, bridges, airports, Broadcom. We would get this done. And he's trying to pick a number instead of first saying, what do we need to make America competitive?
Next, Representative Ocasio-Cortez says that President Biden exceeded her expectations. Here she is right now.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that I will say is that I do think that the Biden administration and President Biden has definitely exceeded expectations that progressives had. I'll be frank, I think a lot of us expected a much more conservative administration. And I think that not only what has ultimately come out, but the active invitation and willingness and collaboration with progressives in his first 100 days, or almost 100 days, has been very impressive.
Let me know what you think so far of the Democrat and Republican perspective of President Biden. So right here is a list of all the promises that were made by President Biden on his campaign trail, and what was done so far, what has not yet been achieved, and what is, I guess, sort of in the middle, and it's complicated. I'm not going to go over all these, so if you want, you could pause the screen, take a screenshot, and then you could kind of zoom in and see what's going on here. I just want to focus on a couple. So COVID-19, assemble coronavirus task force. He did push for immediate coronavirus legislation. That was the American Rescue Plan. Release vaccine distribution. That's going. For the economy, reverse Trump's corporate tax cut. Not yet achieved, but what I would have liked to have seen as well is the increase for Social Security, $15,000 house credit, a lot of those other social program promises that he campaigned on. I wish that was on this list. Unfortunately, it isn't. The other things are environment, racial equity, immigration, and foreign policy. So next up is Senator Lindsey Graham from South Carolina talking more about President Biden.
You have said this week that you believe that Biden's campaign was a fraud on the country because of how differently he is governing. But during the campaign, Senator, he did talk about big changes in infrastructure and racial inequality and a number of other issues. So why is it a fraud?
Well, during the campaign, he made us all believe that Joe Biden would be the moderate choice, that court packing was a bonehead idea. All of a sudden, we got a commission to change the structure of the Supreme Court, making D.C. a state. I think that's a very radical idea that will change the makeup of the United States Senate. AOC said his first 100 days exceeded her expectations. That's all you need to know. I like Joe Biden, but I'm in the 43%. He's been a disaster on foreign policy. The border is in chaos. The Iranians are off the mat. He's opening up negotiations with the Iranian regime, and they haven't done a damn thing to change. Afghanistan's going to fall apart. Russia and China are already pushing him around. So I'm very worried. I think he's been a very destabilizing president.
Next up is Democrat progressive Pramila Jayapal.
Marks his first 100 days in office. I'm curious what your assessment is of his time so far as president. What are you happy with and what more do you want to see?
Well, what an incredible change and relief to be able to wake up every morning to somebody who is compassionate, who does not do policy by Twitter, who is bold and progressive in what he's proposing. I mean, he came out very strong on the American Rescue Plan, and I cannot say enough how important that rescue plan is, packed with policies that are going to put money in people's pockets, get shots in arms, get kids back in schools, and a huge success across the country. So that's the first thing. I think the second thing is, of course, there are places where we are still pushing to have him take the lessons from the rescue plan and from how bold he was and make sure that our next jobs bill is bold. And when I say jobs, I'm talking about both the infrastructure package and the families plan, because both are about jobs. They are about getting child care to people so that families can get back to, parents can get back to work. It's about providing free college for people so that we can train folks to be able to access these jobs.
Mm-hmm. So now that you got multiple perspectives of President Biden's first 100 days, what do you think so far? Doing a good job, bad job? Let me know down in the comments below. That last speaker was Pramila Jayapal. She's a representative, and she is one of the people who is heading the $2,000 per month stimulus check. That is part of the Automatic Boost to Communities Act, which is also known as the ABC Act. So Pramila Jayapal and Rashida Tlaib are the two who are heading the big stimulus package that is this right here. So this is the official bill right here that has been introduced to Congress. Hasn't been voted on yet. They want it to be included in the American Families Plan. So this is it right here. In terms of payment, it says $2,000 per month to each eligible individual thereafter during the payment period. And then it says $1,000 per month to each eligible individual a year after the payment period. The payment period in this bill is defined of when the pandemic is officially announced being over. From that point forward, so you get $2,000 per month until that point, and then from that point forward, it'll be $1,000 per month for an entire year after that point to help everyone recover. So that is the fourth stimulus check plan according to Pramila Jayapal and Rashida Tlaib. And then there's a senator's program too, which is $2,000 per month for the entirety of the pandemic. Moving on, let's talk about the increase in Social Security. I keep getting a lot of questions about this. So this is the tweet that came out. A coalition of House and Senate Democrats led by Senator Sherrod Brown, Jamal Bowman, Senator Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, and Ron Wyden have teamed up to call on the President of the United States to include long overdue updates to supplemental security income, SSI, in the American Families Plan. So this is just for SSI so far. If you haven't seen this, this is the official letter right here that was written to President Biden. It wants to take the yearly pay up to $12,880, which divided on a monthly basis is a little over $1,000 a month. So wherever you're getting now in SSI, whatever payment, it would go up to $12,000 for the year. Or for most people, it's $794 is the cap. It would go up to it would be increased by $279 more. So that's what's going on. I keep getting asked the question, when is this going to happen? As of now, we don't know yet. We don't know when the infrastructure plan is going to pass. If this is included in the infrastructure plan, then when the infrastructure plan passes, that's probably when this will pass as well. There's a lot of different senators and representatives on this bill who are in support of it. A lot of big names, Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, Ron Wyden, Jamal Bowman. So those are all the people involved. This is the official letter right here that was written to the president, and it has a lot of different increases for just SSI. I don't know yet if it's going to include SSDI, veterans, railroad, and other programs, or how this increase affects other areas of benefits like SNAP and other things, so and Medicare. So as soon as I find out that type of information, I'll definitely let you know. Subscribe to the channel if you want the latest on the Social Security increase, fourth stimulus check, other stimulus programs. I like to show you the actual facts, the actual documents, actual video clips, actual clips or quotes, so you know exactly where the information is coming from. Subscribe if you want those type of updates. Moving on, let's talk about how Bernie Sanders just yesterday said this: I sent a letter with 16 of my colleagues today asking President Biden to propose in his American Families Plan the most significant expansion of Medicare since it was signed into law to improve the lives of millions of Americans. So this, as you mentioned, happened yesterday on Sunday. This is the official letter. Basically, it can all be summed up in this first line right here. We write to ask that as part of the American Families Plan, you propose reducing the Medicare eligibility age, expanding Medicare benefits to include hearing, dental, and vision care, implementing a cap on out-of-pocket expenses under traditional Medicare, and negotiating lower drug prices. So that pretty much sums up this entire letter right here. In terms of lowering the age, what they want to lower the age down to is age 50. So originally they said maybe as low as 55, but in this letter right now, they want it to be down to 50. They want to make the drug prices a lot lower and help out a lot more people on Medicare with dental, vision, as I mentioned before. So this is still a proposal. As many of the other things that I've mentioned, they're proposals that they want to be included in the American Families Plan, which is going to be unveiled just in a couple of days. I think Wednesday, it might be unveiled. We don't know officially yet during President Biden's address. So if it is unveiled, we'll know what programs are in there. And even if there aren't programs in there yet, they may be added in later on. For example, with the second stimulus check package, we didn't know that we were going to get a second stimulus check until a few days before the bill, or before it got voted on. So I'll keep you updated on what's happening with that. Also, more support for the minimum wage of $15 is going on right now. Bernie Sanders sent out another tweet saying that a $15 minimum wage is supported by 89% of African Americans, 87% Democrats, 76% Latino Americans, 73% of Asian Americans, 62% of all Americans. It's time for Congress to stop listening to greedy CEOs and start listening to workers who are tired of making starvation wages. So in terms of the $15 minimum wage being federal, it doesn't seem to be moving forward. It's not going to be in the American Families Plan or infrastructure plan as of yet. They're pushing for it, but on a state basis, it looks like different states and companies are passing the $15 minimum wage. For example, Delaware House releases $15 minimum wage bill from committee, and then North Carolina NC lawmakers call for passage of $15 minimum wage. So it looks like on a state basis and company basis it's happening, but not yet on a federal basis. The only thing that's happening on a federal basis is Mitt Romney pushing for $11 minimum wage increase. So let me know down in the comments below, where do you stand with the $15 minimum wage? Do you agree with it, disagree with it? Should it be $11? Do you think the state should decide on this minimum wage, or should it be done federally? Let me know your thoughts on this. Next, I'm going to answer the questions you leave for me in the comments. If you want me to answer your question, just type the word question and I'll try to get to it in the next video. Heather Hampton asks, I'm going to become a first-time home buyer soon. I have a pre-approval letter from the mortgage company. Yay me. Congrats on that, Heather. So my question is there a first-time homebuyers money available in the Biden infrastructure bill? So there's legislation out right now. There's a bill for it. I don't know if it's going to be included in the American Families Plan. As I mentioned before, the American Families Plan will be revealed in the next couple of days, and we'll find out for sure if it's going to be in it. But as of now, they're saying it's not in it, but that could change. Kathy McBride asks, is this really going to happen? And if so, for the raise on SSI. Legislation is out there. They're asking President Biden to include it in the American Families Plan, like many of the other proposals that are out there. We don't know yet if that's going to be included. and when that'll happen as well. So sorry, I don't know these answers. I'm just the messenger. I don't want to say yes if it's not officially in there. But as of now, we don't know because the bill hasn't been officially released yet. Next, Dana Brock asks, I will be in Myrtle Beach next week. Are there any restaurants or sites that you recommend? Awesome. Hope you have a great time in Myrtle Beach. So I'm probably the wrong person to ask about restaurants because I'm really cheap and I only eat at 2 restaurants with my family. It's either Chipotle or this Asian restaurant that we just get like a soupy noodle dish. Besides that, I'm kind of really cheap and frugal. I don't really like to eat out much. I think a lot of the food is overpriced and I'd rather just make it at home. In terms of activities, the beach is really nice. If you have kids, there's a lot of kids activities, museums, go-karts and stuff like that. But yeah, I hope you have a great time. Question comes from Kim Stamper. Is the $250 to $300 per month for child tax credit a done deal for sure? If so, when does it start and when does it end? So yeah, this is done for sure. This was in the American Rescue Plan, which passed back in March. So this will start paying out July 1st. And what is in new legislation in the American Families Plan, or what they're trying to pass, is it for it to happen over the next 4 years. So it's not just 1 year. So this will start July 1st, end July 1st the following year, or end in June the following year. That is all the stimulus news I have for you today. If you want to brighten your day a bit, here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day. Sorry, lost my train of thought.
Guys, this is Bella. This is the tip of the day. I'll tell you the one thing that you should do. But when you feel hurt, don't feel scared. Ask for help. Like when I get hurt, I ask for help. Like today, I got hurt, so I asked for help. See, help always comes because when you need help, everybody's always there for you. No one could leave you out, especially if you're a kid or an adult.
And if you want to learn more about the other stimulus programs I've gone more into detail about, you could click this link down here. It's to my other stimulus updates, so you could see more in detail about the home buyer's credit or the Social Security increase. I go more into detail in it in these videos over here. So click that, or if you want to increase your positive vibes throughout the day, you could click this video over here. It's on my Wise Vibes channel. It's all about being happy and feeling better throughout the day. So click either one of those now, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.